Welcome everyone to episode 25. Hard to believe we've been here for almost half a year. Even harder to believe that we expect to be here for another 6 months in quarantine, pandemic world. But the thing is, though, I really think that as in all cases where it's a difficult time, it's about looking for the positive, the green shoots, as they say in Zen. And I look at New Voice Live as a green shoot. We've worked really hard to make this something that is very unique. I'm sure you're all like me, completely zombified by the Zoom meetings. Every one of them look the same, feel the same, have the same struggles that we all do, bad audio quality, bad video quality, all those things that make it really taxing to communicate on video. And I think our goal here is to try to figure out how to make it as least taxing as possible on an audience. And that's why we have all the video and the interactivity that goes along with it to make it feel like you're part of the actual stream itself. So it's something that if we get enough people, I think it really changed the way people look at how we talk on video. So that's our goal. I'm going to be on this from here until pandemic ends, which is we got to go find an audience. And the next step of it is for you guys to start communicating to everyone what it is that we're trying to do. And for me, I'm here because of one, first and foremost, this idea of our common fear, public speaking. But more importantly for that, for those of us who are here saying, I get it, I understand the common fear, but I'm also trying to get something out of this beyond that. That's the next step of this. For us, for me, for others who are in the same path, it becomes about the art form of public speaking. Once we get past the fear, once we understand what the fear is, the next step of this becomes turning this into something that becomes enjoyable, something we like looking forward to. And ultimately, the ultimate goal of every Toastmasters Club is Speech 10, is to inspire our audience. And that is the hardest thing in the world to do. Not only in public, in person, but even more difficult given the fact we have to look through a little pinhole camera. But imagine what we can do if we learn how to inspire people on camera. The technology at that point in time allows us to reach everyone around the world versus a handful of people in an audience in a room. So for me, that's what I believe the power is. If we can create a place where people feel inspired, but also are inspiring, I believe we'll find an audience. And I believe we'll find an audience that will be around the world. That's the goal for me. That's why I'm here. And I'm going to ask you all to help in this cause, because this is where we're at. Next step is, as people who are into public speaking, we got to go find an audience to speak to. So with that said, that means the onus is on us to go talk about what we're doing, and more importantly, to create content that is compelling, that people want to listen to. So with that having been said, we've got Bhavika on as our speaker for the evening. Based upon our first icebreaker, I'm sure we've got some compelling content along the way, but it's her second speech, organizer speech. So let's get her on the stage and we'll get right into it. So Bhavika, are you there?
Hi, yeah.
Let's see if I can get her on screen. Bhavika, welcome.
Hi.
How are you feeling?
Good. Ready to get started.
Do you feel different for this speech than you did for the first speech?
Yeah, definitely not as tense or nervous this time around. Just being more familiar with the environment and everything. So definitely a different feeling this time.
Perfect. And that's the way it's supposed to be. That first icebreaker speech is always the most nerve-wracking. And the whole point is that we don't know who you are, you don't know who we are. And so breaking the ice, figuratively, is getting to know people, turning strangers into friends. But now that we're friends, we now have expectations for each other. And so that's why speech number 2 is organizer speech, which is help us create these expectations for you and of you. And that's why we placed speech number 2 as the second speech, which is the roadmap. So we're going to be looking as an audience, and as we give an evaluation, I'm going to ask all those folks in the audience to evaluate Bhavika on how easily it was able to follow you along the speech. If you've done your job, it should feel like a roadmap where at every point in time, we were with you. We never got lost. But we never also got too far ahead where we were trying to figure out where you were going because we were either bored or lost and saying, where are we going? You want to also fill us in there. So this roadmap is really a roadmap of the journey as it's progressing with a little bit of a tease to where you're headed. Okay?
Yep.
Great. With that said, you've got 4 minutes for your speech number 2. I'll let you take it away right now.
Thank you. So if you've been outside lately, you know what time of the year it is. The weather is cooling down, the leaves are falling, and all we can think about is the holidays. Or at least that's all I'm thinking about. I think things are a little bit different this year, but I'm just as excited for the fall as I am any other year. It's my favorite season. I'm always looking forward to it, and I want everybody here to be just as excited. So today I'm going to be walking you through some of my favorite things about the fall in hopes that you'll be just as excited. First and foremost, there's football. Who doesn't love an excuse to sit around all day, eat good food, have a couple of drinks, and yell at the TV? Football, like any other sport, brings people together. Whether it's at a jam-packed bar or at a friend's house, it's an excuse to get together with friends and family and have a good time. It also doesn't matter whether you're a football fan or if you don't follow football. You're bound to have a good time when you're surrounded by other football fans. The key is to just cheer and clap when everyone else does. Next, there's the weather. I think by the time it's Labor Day weekend, we're all ready to say goodbye to the humidity and be able to walk around without feeling like we're in a sauna. And for at least the first couple of months, it's not so cold that we're wearing layers and layers of clothes. The weather is cool, it's manageable for a good amount of time, which makes it easier to run errands, commute, and continue to enjoy outdoor activities. You also get to see the seasonal changes with the leaves changing colors around you, especially in Central Park, where there are different hues of colors spreading across the trees throughout the park. And at last, there's the holidays. Yes, at this point, your football team is most likely not going to be making it to the playoffs, and the weather's probably taken a turn for the worse. But who cares? We have holiday parties, home alone marathons, our favorite holiday foods, presents, decorations, a virtual Macy's Day parade to look forward to. It's a great way to end the year with what feels like an overwhelming amount of jubilation, and which is exactly what we need at the year, especially this year. These are just a handful of things. Let's not forget about apple picking, Halloween, pumpkin patches, and all things pumpkin spice. So if you're still feeling the end of summer blues, just think about all the great things that we have to look forward to, and be sure to take advantage of the seasonal perks while you can. Thank you.
Speaker, that was great. I loved it. And as an NFL fan, I loved it even more. So with that said, let's turn it over to our audience and their evaluation. Sean, if you wouldn't mind putting the chat in the stream, in the chat, the link in the chat, and then we'll give the audience a couple minutes to their audience evaluation, and you can listen to Bhavika's favorite song as you do it. All right, welcome back, everyone. We have Alex as our evaluator, although I don't know, did we lose? Oh, there we go. Alex, I lost you there for a second. Let's get Alex on the screen. Alex, old friend, welcome back to the show. How are you?
I'm very well, but I have an unfortunate admission, is that I was completely offline during Bhavika's speech. But as I said earlier to Bhavika, her questions were to find out about her tone of voice and whether she was looking at the screen. Of that, I have no doubt. But unfortunately, as for the content, alas, I cannot. Bhavika, my apologies.
No worries.
Welcome to the world of modern technology. Yes, we are having glitches all along the way. So, Alex, I completely understand. Why don't we do this? How about I give a bit of evaluation for Bhavika myself, and then you can listen along and hear what you missed. So, Bhavika, speech number 2. In many ways, speech number 2 is the most difficult speech because it comes right after the icebreaker. And the icebreaker is relatively easy because no one knows you. And so you can really say anything you want, and there's no real basis for judgment. And I'm going to try to get you on the screen here so I can talk to you directly. There we go. Okay. And so speech number 1 is an open book. You can say anything you want. And we have a no judgment policy based on speech 1 because we don't know you. But speech number 2, we know you. So we have expectations. And then we get to be the same place where we're with friends and family. Where when we're talking to friends and family, we talk very differently to them than we do to strangers. And the reason why we talk differently to them is because we know they know us. We know that we can't act differently because the first thing they'll say is, why are you acting so different? That's not who you are. And so speech number 2 starts to fill in the patterns of who you are. And the most important part of that for us is to know, why should we listen to you, Bhavika? And that's really the ultimate fear of public speaking, is our fear of being ignored or people feeling like they're bored while they're listening to us. And we know that terrible feeling when we're up on stage in real life and we look around the audience and nobody's paying attention or feel like nobody's paying attention. In our head, we're thinking, oh my God, they're not paying attention. I'm boring them. And it's devastating to us. The reason why it's so devastating to us is because we've been in the audience where we've listened to somebody who is boring us to death. We've been in school, had teachers, whatever it is, we've been forced to sit in an audience where the last thing we want to do is to listen to that speaker. And we go, oh my God, I can't listen to this. And you look at your phone and you think of all the other things and you'd rather be doing than listening to this person. Once we break the ice, we now have that fear of, oh my God, why should they listen to me? If I don't have anything important to say, they're going to be bored. Speech number 2 is designed to tackle that very, very big fear, which is, let me tell you why you should listen to me. And you do that with a roadmap. And the roadmap is, first I'm going to tell you this, then I'm going to tell you, and then I'm going to told you that. So those 3 things about road marking and where we go, where I'm going to take you, I'm going to take it, and then where I took you, are what helps us as the audience not be bored. We know in advance where we're headed. It's just like the agenda that we put up every week and the same routine we do every week to say our guests, our introduction of speakers, our introduction of leaders. We do that so we know the audience knows we're headed every step of the way. So with that being said, your speech was great. You had me with the NFL. You had me with the stories. I got the complete sense of what you're trying to communicate in terms of being together and in the space. What I think we could have used more was the roadmap. And that's the next step of where we're headed to in the curriculum, is that after speech 2, the next speech is get to the point. And the point is the destination. So take from this speech the idea that you want to build a roadmap for folks in your next speech, but then also lead them to the destination. What is your point? And so before I leave you with that, let me ask you that question. In your speech, if I said you had one point that you wanted to get across, what would that be?
To get ready for fall, essentially.
To get ready for fall. Okay. And so that punchline, that gets the point, should be the final destination so that you could say something along the lines of, and with that being said, now you all know that football season means to get ready for the fall. Thank you very much. Right? That kind of road mapping and destination helps the audience know, okay, I know we're headed and I know where the speech is about to end. So think about those things as you prepare the next speech, which is help us as the audience know why we should listen to you. And that starts with, here's a roadmap and here's our destination.
Got it.
Okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Great job, though. You really took me along for a ride. I thought it was fantastic.
Thank you.
All right, folks, with that said, let's get back to our question of the day. And that gives us a chance to reset everything and get to table topics. If you get a chance, pop your answer in the GIF and let us reset, and we'll see you back for table topics. Okay, welcome back, everyone. I've just checked the list here. It looks like we have some openings, a couple more slots left for anybody that wants to do table topics. It is open to everyone, guests included, so hop in there. We love to hear everyone give a speech at least if they can. So the link is in the chat one more time, Sean, if you wouldn't mind. And let's get Rob, our table topics master for the evening, up on the screen. Rob, are you there?
I am.
Welcome, Rob.
Hey, Henry.
You've been here with us. Good. You've been here with us almost from the beginning. So this 25th anniversary is really meant for people like you. Thanks for being here from the beginning.
Thank you.
And thanks for being our table topics master for the evening. And I think before I turn it over to you, we'll give a couple people some time to sign in maybe. But help us out, Rob. You know, we've been talking about the importance and of coming back and treating this as a skill. How do you feel after 25 or so episodes? Does this feel better for you speaking? Has it gotten easier for you? If it has, tell everyone why it has and, you know, why you're here.
It definitely has, Henry, and I think it's such a good question. And when I talk to other people about Toastmasters, what I've been able to share is that it's not just speaking, but there's a lot of creativity and other ways to have fun. And I love that this platform, the New Voice Live, is really a stage or a vehicle for that, between the emojis and the GIFs and all the Homer popping up for the word of the day. I think there's just such an animation that happens here. And speaking isn't necessarily just about the speaking. I think there's the visuals, the presentation, and all those aspects. So I feel like those things have helped me, I don't know, maybe as crutches, but as these tools to make me feel less nervous about speaking.
That sounds great, Rob. Well, with that said, I'll let you take it away on table topics. Let's get the table topic scene set up for you. And why don't you take it away?
All right. So today the question is to share a birthday celebration that brought you joy, a birthday or celebration that brought you joy, and why. And before we start asking the questions, I think because it's the 25th anniversary, I'm going to do a little decoration and get this a little bit more thematic here. You guys could see my streamers. I'm going to put on some celebratory 25th anniversary glasses. A little confetti here. All right, we're having fun now. And we need a little disco lights in here too. So there's a party happening. It's all about celebration. So the word of the day is jubilation, jubilee, jubilance, however you guys want to use it, but bring it in and you will get the homer. So I'm going to bring up our first table topic speaker, Jorge. Come on up, Jorge. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Welcome, Jorge. How are you?
Doing great, thanks.
So I'm going to hand it over to you to answer that. You know the question?
Yes, I do.
All right, take it away, Jorge. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so I've been thinking about the birthday gift or something, but I couldn't find an answer. I don't know, maybe I forgot, or maybe all the gifts that I've got for my birthday were insignificant. I don't know. But I do want to share a story, I guess, that happened to me 2 months ago when I felt a true sense of jubilation when I was told that I got the job. So if you're asking, well, how is that, something important or something that made you really happy, Jorge? Well, let me tell you about it. Before that, I've been looking for a job for over a year, and I wasn't getting anywhere. And that's when I decided to join Toastmasters. And at the same time, I think I joined the new boys at the new school, and you know, practicing public speaking and all these things. I think definitely helped. You know, get the job. Also, why was I happy about getting the job? It was because at my previous job, I wasn't being as productive in terms of like learning new stuff and doing new things. So that was another reason for being super happy. And the third reason that that day was really joyful for me is because I was getting paid more, a lot more. And even though I didn't took it for the money, making more money makes my life a lot easier. So anyway, that's my most recent joyful uh, day, I would say. Thank you.
Thank you, Jorge. That's, I think getting a job is always something to be joyful and to celebrate, but especially these days where people are been drastically affected by COVID. And so I think that's a huge accomplishment and congratulations. And definitely always a little bit more money is a perk. So congratulations and thank you. I really appreciated your answer.
Thanks.
All right. Next up, we have Rajiv. Can we get Rajiv up here? Hey, Rajiv. Oh, celebratory sunglasses and your Ferrari.
Lamborghini, don't get it twisted, Lamborghini.
All right. Well, I'm excited for you. I think it looks like you're already celebrating, but
That's right.
A birthday or a celebration that brought you joy and why, and not just for you, but for all the people doing table topics. It's 2 minutes, and Jorge was amazing. He stopped like exactly at 2 minutes. So I know you're going to be going really fast in your Lamborghini, Rajiv. So I'll let you take it away.
Rob, could you actually repeat the question? I was a little bit distracted by those totally fab glam sunglasses.
Share a birthday or a celebration that brought you joy and why.
A birthday or a celebration that brought me joy? Yeah, that's a pretty easy question to answer. I think I might have answered it previously in a previous table topics, but I think I'll say that again because it's fresh now. It's been many months since I last said it. The best birthday gift that I ever got this year was the medical report that I was diabetic free, or I was previously pre-diabetic, and then my A1C came out completely clean, and I was not pre-diabetic. So what that meant was no more taking the metformin and the meds and all that stuff. And it also meant that there was that the enjoyment of poking myself every morning to test my blood sugar, that level of excitement would be taken away from me. I mourned that for a few seconds and then proceeded to fully embrace the enjoyment of being rid of this very debilitating condition, also known as diabetes, which some have phrased as the slow death, because when it, you know, like spreads, it can cause a lot of debilitation to the extent of losing eyesight, losing limbs. One of my friend's mom, lost a limb as a result of it. So it's people don't uh, fully understand the scope of how severe diabetes can be. And well, since I know that, being free of this extremely severe condition is a cause for great celebration. And unfortunately, I celebrated the wrong way, but that's a story for another time. Celebration involved eating a lot of carbs, pizza, ice cream, Haagen-Dazs ice cream, all in the wrong quantities and all at the wrong time, which was post 10 p.m. Yeah, so but again, that's a story for another time. Let's just focus on the good part of the story, which was the enjoyment part, the medical report that I was diabetic free, and let's just stick with that as the takeaway for giving people something to think about as far as possibilities go. So yeah, that's my answer, and I hope it resonated with someone.
Thank you, Rajiv. Oh, that is, yes, that is a huge reason for celebration, and I'm really grateful for you just sharing that with the audience. And happy 25th episode. You and I think signed up the same exact time, so I feel like I've gotten to know you really well over the course of this episodes, and it's great to have you here. So thank you very much for your table topic. And next up, I'm going to welcome Eula to the stage.
Thank
Hi.
you. Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Nervous, but good.
Oh, your speeches are always celebratory, so I think this topic is a very good one. So the question is, share a birthday or celebration that brought you joy and why. And again, the word of the day is jubilation, or however you'd like to use it in your speech. Please feel free. So take it away, Eula.
Thank you. How many of you believe that your birth date is very important? Show of hands. I guess I'm not the only one. Why would I say that? It took me years to try and find out what day I was born on. I don't know my birth date. And because of that, I have 2 different months in 2 different countries with 2 different dates for my birthday. Talking about that, happy birthday. I've been celebrating my birthday for the last few months every single day. I'm having a jubilant time with my birthday. The best gift I've ever gotten was the one and only birthday party I've ever had in my lifetime. About 17 years ago, on my 50th birthday, we had such a jubilant celebration. Everybody was dressed to the T's in their best gold color, celebrating 50s. It was such a wonderful time. We forgot my birthday cake, but hey, that was thrown to the wind. We had such a wonderful, jubilant time that was forgotten. That was the best birthday gift I've ever had. The only birthday party I've ever had. My birthday to me doesn't matter. Every day I wake up, it's a happy and jubilant day. I'm happy to be alive. I celebrate every day. That gives me the opportunity to have more birthday than anybody else that I know. And guess what? I enjoy it. I have a marvelous time. I'm jubilant with it every single time. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to you. That's my best gift. That's the best memory that I have of a birthday. Thank you.
Thank you, Eula. Oh, I love the balloon. That was fantastic. Can I ask you when your actual 2 birth dates are?
May and June.
Oh, okay. Nice. So you get to be 2 horoscope signs.
And I think I would rather acknowledge the European way. If you don't know your birthday, you celebrate January 1st every year.
Well, happy birthday, and thank you so much for sharing.
Every day is my birthday. I just found out about the second birthday about a year ago. I happened to be in my home country, had to go to the hospital, and they're like, "Why don't you know when you were born?" I say, "Hey, just treat me." So they have a completely different date. But I'm happy about it. It doesn't matter. So to me, a birth date really doesn't matter. Every day is a birthday.
Well, thank you so much. There's a lot of jubilation in your speech, and you used the word of the day. I think for everyone that will do a table topic. So, as Sean says in the chat, it's a celebration every time you speak. So, thank you very much. All right. Next up, we have Dulce. Dulce, can you come to the stage? Oh, there you are. So the table topic question of the day is share a birthday or celebration that brought you joy and why. And the word of the day is jubilation. And remember, it's 2 minutes for the table topic speeches, everyone. And the music will come on at 2.5 minutes. So take it away, Dulce.
My pleasure. I would like to share with you what is not at all a birthday, and you may have read about these or you may have had it yourself, and that is the birth of my only child. It was incredible. First of all, when we have a birthday coming up, we know it's going to be a birthday and we prepare. But when you're pregnant and you know you have 9 months to prepare for the arrival of this gift, which is a gift from heaven above, no other place. And generally, It's a gift of some combination of you and your husband or your partner, whoever it is. Well, unbelievable. First of all, I didn't expect that my gynecologist would have told my husband when he found I was pregnant, because I went to school with this guy and I didn't want him to tell my husband. I wanted to tell him myself, but never mind. He told him and he said, "Oh, I hear we're going to have a baby." Yes, of course we are. He went and told you, didn't he? He burst the bubble. Bottom line, though, is the day comes and it took quite a while. And they talk about labor and pain. But guess what? I did all of the breathing exercises. So it didn't feel that much like pain. It was just pure anticipation. My husband was holding one hand. And of course, the gynecologist, obstetrician was where the baby was supposed to come out. Well, it was such a jubilant occasion when she actually came out. And he put her, my friend, the obstetrician, put her in my husband's arms before he put her in mine. But it is something that you can never replicate. And if you have multiple children, it's never the same. In addition, I had another moment of jubilation when she took her first step before she was 1 year old, just before Christmas. It was incredible. I mean, children aren't supposed to walk that early, but she has surprised me all her life. And so that's the gift and the celebration that I wanted to share with you. Jubilation all the time. I adore that child. And I hope I shared it.
Thank you, Dulce. Always an inspiration, Dr. D. So
My joy.
Thank you for sharing your story. And I have to agree with you that having your children being born is a huge cause for celebration. And my 7-year-old daughter, her birthday is in a few days. And every morning when she gets up, it's how many days until my birthday? How many days until my birthday? And I think we have had so much fun with celebrating her birthdays that I, like you said, feel so much joy on my kids' birthdays than I would even on my own birthday. So thank you for sharing and the wonderful
My
jubilant
joy.
story. All right, next up we have Annie. Can we get Annie to the stage? Hey, Annie, how are you?
I'm good, Rob. How are you?
I'm doing well. So I'm excited to have you speak, and the subject matter is to share a birthday or celebration that brought you joy and why. And I feel like I've already heard some of these kind of celebratory stories from you between your marathon run and some of your other stories that you've shared. So I'm excited to hear another one from you. So I'll pass it over to you. The word of the day is jubilant, and you have 2 minutes. Take it away, Annie.
Thanks, Rob, and thanks for fun topic. I think looking back over the birthdays, I've never been, or at least as an adult, never been much of a birthday person. Maybe for different reasons. I have sentiments not unlike Eula's, where I think every day is great and reason to be celebratory. And my own birthday has for most years not been something I necessarily look forward to or anticipate in any special way. But looking back many years, when all of my friends were having sweet 16s, the idea of planning a big celebration for myself just, I think, threw fear into my heart. I don't like being the center of attention, and I don't like being the one to draw attention to myself. And so I hadn't planned anything. And I went over to go hang out at my friend's house and walked into her backyard, and she had planned this big surprise sweet 16 for me. And there were gifts and there was an amazing cake and there were streamers, but the best part of it was just seeing all my friends there in one place and being so touched that they had gone through the effort and the trouble to recognize my birthday, a day that I would have let pass with no acknowledgement and been fine with, and they were so special and so thoughtful that they did that for me. And these are the same people that I won't say how many decades later, but decades later, they're still some of my best friends. And I think just illustrating the fact that birthdays come and go, and the material possessions, the cakes come and go, and the gifts come and go, but the friends are there, the good friends.
Thank you, Annie. That was great. Yeah, I think as adults, birthdays, they just seem, what I say, they just feel like another like sign that we're aging. But so I have the same kind of feeling about like my own birthdays, but there are those memories, like you had said, where friends really kind of surprise you and show their love in incredible ways. And thank you for sharing that. Next up, we have Sanela. Can we get Sanela to the screen? Hey, how are you?
Hi. Hi. I'm good. Thanks.
So I'm excited for you to share a birthday or celebration that brought you joy and explain why. Again, it's 2 minutes on the clock and the music will come on at 2:30. And if you want to see Homer Simpson pop up, then use the word of the day. It's jubilation. So take it away.
Hey, Rob. This year, my birthday was a very memorable one with unbelievable sense of jubilation because my kids wanted to surprise me with a special gift in the midst of pandemic. Never mind that I totally forgot that it was my birthday. My birthday is in May, usually end of May. And the stores were still not open, but little did I know that my kids were trying to get me a special gift a month before. So they came out with various questions, asking me about colors and shoe sizes, and they were very smart. They wanted to be ahead of everything, so they did all these questions a month before. And considering that I was extremely busy and constantly on the computer, on Zoom calls and everything, I was just brushing them off. And I felt very bad at the end. However, when they came out to surprise me, I can say this now because they're not here, but they came out with the totally wrong shoes, not my style, but the sense of them doing all of that, going through all of that, I just had to, it was just overwhelming. The feeling was overwhelming, but they constantly kept asking me, try them on. So I tried, of course, but I did not, they were totally not what I wear. And, but I had to wear them. And it was very sweet what they tried to do in the midst of everything and how they approached the whole situation and the whole surprise. It was a special one for me.
Thank you. That was lovely. I I have to say, I'm gonna have to have your kids do a little mentoring to my kids, because I would love for them to like go out of their way and, and get me some awesome gifts, even if they weren't right, just to see that.
It was funny to hide him, like, oh, and then like just really like get, oh, they went through all of this. That's these weird questions. That's why.
And how old are your kids, if you don't mind me asking?
My son is gonna be 12 in November, and my daughter is 10.
Oh, okay. Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing.
No problem.
What a wonderful speech. All right, next up we have Tracy. Tracy, can you come to the stage? Hey, Tracy.
Hello.
You have a good energy, so I feel like I'm looking forward to hearing your story, or share a birthday or celebration that brought you joy, and why.
Well, Mr. Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, I am 50 years old, so I'm old school. So prior to 2007, I was listening to Celebrate Good Times Tonight, for real, with Kool and the Gang, Commodores, Earth, Wind and Fire, Billy Joel. But then jubilation. My kid was born in 2007, like Dr. D, and we celebrated with great jubilation the fact that I had a daughter now, so my life would never be the same. I went from all those good old school jams to now I'm listening to all the single ladies, all the single ladies. She was only 1 year old, walking around my house, all the single ladies, all single ladies. And if it wasn't that, I came here with a wrecking ball. I never meant to fall so hard. A wrecking ball? What in the world are you talking about? Then, fellow Toastmasters, in 2013, Frozen came out. You know where I'm going with that. Let it go, let it go. I can't hold back anymore. They should have named it Let It Go, Let It Go. I can't listen to the song anymore. Goodness gracious. And if it wasn't that, there were so many songs that came on and on and on. Now it's 2020. Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B are making songs about stuff I can't even believe is on the radio right now. But what I'm jubilant about, fellow Toastmasters, is that my 13-year-old teenage daughter now is in the 8th grade, and she's doing well, and things are well. She's progressing. I just hope that one day her musical taste can evolve to start listening to Lionel Richie and Aretha Franklin, and not this Ariana Grande and all this stuff that's going on, because I don't understand it. So if I had something to do, I would make my way downtown, walking fast, faces past, and I'm homebound, Bhavika, so I can listen to something I understand. But for now, the jubilation, the celebration, being hyped and having fun is about having a party. That party can be with any kind of music, any kind of place, as long as you're happy, healthy, you're staying out of the COVID chaos and this racial injustice drama that's going on all around town. Whenever you hear this stuff, fellow Toastmasters, instead of getting upset and protesting, go home and throw on some nice, mellow, wonderful music, old school preferably, and I promise you, you won't get hit with a wrecking ball. Instead, you will have a lot of fun, and you will be jubilant for the rest of the day. Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Tracy. Oh, you definitely didn't let us down. There was so much jubilation in that. And I have to agree with you. I have 2 little kids, and they just got into top 40 music, and they have the Z100 blasting all the time. And maybe I forgot from when I was a kid, but it sounds like there's only 5 songs on the radio now, because it just keeps repeating and repeating. And so luckily they've grown out of the Frozen, but I know what you mean. They let that go. Thank you so much, Tracy. All right. So next up we have Tejaswini. Can we get her to the stage? Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Do I have to go after Tracy?
Oh man.
Set the bar so high. I'm like, okay.
No, just be yourself. You always do an amazing job. So the subject is share a birthday or celebration that brought you joy and why. And again, the timer is set for 2 minutes, and the music will come on at 2.5. And the word of the day is jubilation. I'll let you take it away.
Thank you. Thank you for the topic, Rob. And I was thinking, why jubilation? Why do I have to be happy all the time? Because coming from an Indian family, there was always a birthday party, and you could never decide what you had to do because your parents told you what to wear, and the decorations were already done by your parents. For up until 25 years, I kept on thinking that okay, everything is already preset. Why do I have to even think about a birthday? And that is when I started thinking that, I wish I could skip a day, and that day would be my birthday. So life happened. I finished my graduations, my masters, and then I realized that, you know I can't skip my birthday. So I decided to skip my life. Just as it's the 25th birthday, I accepted myself on my 25th birthday. The day I was extremely proud of myself because I got in as a UN intern, and I decided that United Nations is the way forward. So I sort of started making smaller milestones for me every year from my 25th birthday after accepting myself. And my 30th birthday, I was like, let me just make sure that by next year, I am going to be at the UN. So last year, I run an orphanage in India, and in that orphanage, I had all my kids coming to me and celebrating my birthday, and that was one of the most exciting birthdays I had. Imagine some kids. uh, I have seen these kids growing up literally, and though I don't have kids of myself, I consider them as my kids. And these kids came to me with birthday cards made, a big bouquet, and a cake. So I decided that this has to be one of my best birthdays. But then I realized that every birthday became a nicer birthday for me once I started accepting myself. And on the 31st birthday, I was actually officially working for the UN through another think tank. So thank you so much. Every year is a birthday. Every year is something that I'm celebrating for.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful. I think we could all learn a lesson from that to really take some time and appreciate ourselves because, especially these days, it's tough. There's a lot of crazy things going on. So wherever we can, whether it's our birthday or accomplishing our goals like you with your UN, taking that time to celebrate our own achievements. So thank you very much. All right, and next up we have Sean. Sean, can you join us?
Hey, I'm here.
Hey, Sean. So the table topic question of the day is to share a birthday or celebration that brought you joy and why. And the word of the day is jubilation. And I know that it's 2 minutes on the clock and the music comes on at 2:30. So I'll let you take it away, Sean. Thank you.
Yep. So I guess I'll begin by saying, similar to Annie, I don't really celebrate my birthday too often. And similar to Teju, I found self-acceptance a year before she did. She found it at 25. I found it at 24. But when I think about the past few birthdays that I've had, I go back to last year when I turned 30. And usually when you turn 30, it's a pretty big deal because you're leaving your 20s and you're officially becoming an adult, so to speak. But but when I turned 30, it was a very quiet, celebratory birthday, and I think it was pretty apropos because actually 3 weeks after I turned 30, my grandfather passed, and then 3 weeks later, I lost an uncle to ALS. So to say the least, 30 wasn't off to a great start. But as you saw in my profile, I turned 31 on September 1st. So it's less than 3 weeks old. And I can say happily that 31 has been great so far. I think, thinking back to April, it's been a pleasure to be a part of this platform with Henry Cayley and all of the people on this call this evening. That's been a very rewarding process. I'm in a very happy relationship. I got promoted at work, so things are going pretty well so far, and I'm really looking forward to what the rest of the year has in store. So far it's been a jubilant year, and like fingers crossed things will stay the same going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Always such an inspiration when Sean speaks. So thank you very much. And I'm excited to hear that your 31st year is going much better than 30th. So definitely a cause for celebration. So thank you very much. And I want to remind everyone that we're going to vote for the best table topic speech of the evening. So we have the speakers up now, and we're going to get a link in the chat in a sec. And if you all click that and vote on your favorite table topic speech, I will be very jubilant. Thank you very much. I'll pass it back over to Henry.
Rob, great job on that. That was a high energy table topic. I think the celebration and jubilation was felt around everybody. And also, for those of you who are filling out your vote for the best table topics, there's also a feedback portion of that same form for Rob. So please give him your feedback on that. And again, a reminder for all you folks, if you give a speech, you should all have your own personalized URL links to give you the feedback. Again, some of the power that we have with the virtual world that we don't in person is we get the digital feedback for you guys that you get to keep. And hopefully over time, take a look back at the previous speeches, the old speeches, and go, wow, I remember when. I was really nervous back then, or I didn't know those things back then. This really is an exercise in getting better and better every week, time and time again, so that over time, you get to be in a place where we are today, where as I sat back and watched, I always have this measure in my head. If I didn't know these folks, if I didn't know you all, would I be interested in listening and participating? And the answer today, like it was last week, was absolutely. So thumbs up to everybody. The show is getting better and better every week. We still have a long way to go. There's always room for improvement. But if our goal is to grab an audience with the content that we have so that they aren't bored, they aren't switching to other things, I think we're really close. So kudos to everybody. Appreciate all their hard work. Please come back again for future meetings. Sign up for these roles. Again, it doesn't happen without all of us. All right, with that said, let's move on to our post-show and get our reports from our Grammarian timer. We have our Grammarian for the evening, and that is going to be Jorge. Jorge, let's get Jorge on the screen. That's not Jorge, that's Sean. Jorge, you want to give us our grammarian count?
Yes, thank you, Henry. All right, as a grammarian, I have a simple task to keep track of those few words from everyone who is speaking, that being the speakers or table topic participants. So we have one speaker today, and that was Bhavika. I didn't see any filler words. You used the word of the day. Great speech, by the way. And for the evaluator, Henry acted as The evaluator, I didn't see anything there. So moving on into the table topic participants, I went on first and I did caught myself using arms more than once, but I'm being nice to myself. I just put one, and many souls as well. I did use the word of the day. Rajiv, he left, but I saw one so, and he didn't use the word of the day. Eula, perfect. I loved, by the way, your story about celebrating your birthday for many months. Dulce, perfect, clean. You did use the word of the day many times. And you also made me want to have kids because right now I'm undecided. Shame on you, Dulce. Anyway, joking. Any couple and I don't think I heard you use the word of the day. If you did, I apologize. Sanela, for and same thing. I don't think I heard you use the word of the day. If you did, I apologize as well. Tej, I loved your speech. I mean your table topic answer, and I think I heard one. Maybe more than one. I'm not sure. And you use the word of the day many times, I believe. And last but not least, Sean, I think I heard one, but it might have been in the context, so forgive me. And the word of the day, I had you mark no because I thought you didn't use it, but in the last second you used it. Very good, well done. And that concludes my report for today. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Jorge. And I'm looking for Maya. I think we may have lost Maya, our timer.
She
If
left.
she's still here.
Uh,
Yeah, okay. So I think she said she had some things to do, so maybe she had to drop off early. Well, here's the thing is that timer's on our screen. If you want to figure out how long it took you, go to the YouTube channel and you can check out your time there. I will say one thing.
Henry?
These roles, Sean, are you?
Yeah,
Was
I
that
was
you, Sean?
just I was just gonna quickly say that Teju has the report.
yeah, I took over the.
Oh, okay. There you
So
go, Tracy. Thank you for that. I'll let you take over.
so thanks to Maya, she did all the hard work. I just did the last two. Bhavika, great speech. You you spoke for 3 minutes. Jorge, for the table topic, you spoke for 2 minutes. Rajiv, who's not there, I have to say that all of you were amazing. Rajiv, you spoke for 2 minutes 35. Eula, every day is a birthday. 2 minutes 25. Dulce, I want to have a daughter someday. 2 minutes 50 seconds. Annie, great speech again. 2 minutes 5. Um, Again, I can actually create a story with all the time of work and all the stories that were spoken. Sanela, great gifts by your kids. Good job. 2 minutes 30 seconds. Tracy, if I can ever come to your level, sure. 2 minutes 15 seconds. I spoke for 2 minutes 15 seconds. And Sean, you and I are the same age. I just came to know. 2 minutes 30 seconds. Good job, everyone.
You did a great job. And I just saw Jorge put in the chat, yes, you saved the day. Thank you for that. Really appreciate you jumping in there for Maya. And I was going to say this, these roles and these little things that we do at Toastmasters for these meetings, this is why I'm here again. You don't get this kind of feedback anywhere else. You don't get the feedback after your speeches when you give a speech anywhere else to an audience. Here we say, tell us what you liked, what you didn't like. You're going to get somebody doing your grammarian count, your ahs and ums, or your timing on your speeches. And the reason why the timing on the speeches is so important is we have to both at the same time speak, but also be cognizant of how long it's taking for us to speak. And that juggling act is always what we're trying to accomplish here. We're always trying to throw more at you as a speaker. We're trying to make it more and more difficult, make the tightrope higher and higher. And so these roles are really important. And with that said, the thing that I've challenged all of us to do is to try to get as close to the time as possible. I know that oftentimes we go over and we get kind of into our speeches and we lose track of time and we're in the flow of it. But that's really what sets great speakers apart, is they not only can talk as if they're in flow, but they have an internal timer. They understand that they are avoiding the grammarian mistakes of the ahs and ums. All that stuff goes into play when they speak, so that the best of them I have seen get up and give a speech, and without any timer whatsoever, at 2 minutes exactly, wrap up their speech. It's almost uncanny, but that's the level of speaking expertise that we're trying to achieve. That's why we have this counter. So I am going to challenge everybody, try to hit that 2 minute counter on the nose as best you can. All right, with that said, great job on the timer count there. We are going to wrap up this show. We're going to head into after hours, and just an FYI, as Kaylee mentioned, we're going to be doing an open house in a couple weeks, and that's going to be to get more people to come check us out, to be audience members for us, and hopefully for them to go from strangers to friends. That's what this really is at the end of the day. I feel every Friday when I come, it's an energizing call versus the typical Zoom calls that I got on, which are really draining and taxing. So I hope that we can keep this going every Friday so people go, wow, I feel energized after that. And after this show, I'm completely energized. It was fantastic. I'm looking forward to going and watch this on YouTube. So go check it out. Thanks again for coming. If you are interested in learning about what we have planned ahead, stick around for after hours. We're going to talk about some of our plans. We also want to get your feedback as we move into this new stage of ours. And ultimately, I think what we're going to do is change after hours a bit as well to start incorporating some of the curriculum and as we call masterclass, things we used to do at a more advanced level, more towards the art of public speaking than into the curriculum, and the roles and those types of things are important. They are the practical side of speaking. But the more important side of speaking is how do you really connect with an audience? And that's the art of it. So we're going to get more into that as we go forward as well. All right, with that said, thanks for coming on another Friday. Stick around for after hours. You want to join us and hang out on the grid. We'll see you guys next week. Great job.